Hi everybody. I see you all out there. This is Kimberly at Journal Breeze, and I'm really happy to be with you right now. I'm doing this sort of off the cuff, although I've been preparing mentally, and I have all of my papers and stuff ready to make this a useful tutorial for you. But I am not going to cut and paste. I am going to really show you well. So I think my form of tutorials are going to be more of the deep show. That's kind of how I see them. Deep show and tell, as opposed to cut and paste. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe as I get better at it, I'll change my mind. But right now, I don't want to spend the time I have with you cutting and figuring things out and all. So thank you so much for all your feedback about wanting to see the tutorial for this fantastic ephemera holder or gift pouch. Or gift. I mean, you could put all kinds of stuff in here. It's really big. It really, really is big. You can do stuff inside the fan, which case you might want to print on the inside, behind the fan, in front of the fan. It's just a big envelope. It's gusseted on one side, and this pulls out. So you could put dollar bills in here. And you can see it's a double-sided piece of paper. And the essentials to have are a paper that is part of the labels kit from Chapter 1. Now this is their second labels kit. The first labels kit is a Victorian labels, and this is labels and more, I think it's called, and it has all kinds of labels in it, cute little diagrams, and just so many different designs. It's a great kit to have. It's about the size of normal, like Tracy Fox kind of labels, but entirely different. So if you have both, there's not going to be any repeats, and they're both really useful. And they have some larger ones in there too, and their drawings and just all kinds of fun stuff. So it's on a big piece of paper, and it has two labels on the side, but I've altered this, so that's what I'm going to be showing you. But this is what it looks like if you were just to cut this out all by itself, exactly as it is on their paper. It would look just like this. So it's a very long rectangle, and this is the other side. This is Forget-Me-Not kit. And the other essential that you have to have, if you want it to look like mine, is this kit is called Rose Blush by Paper Cameo. And so this is the Cameo, obviously, and the fan, and then this is what's holding the fan in. So Rose Blush, and I believe that these cards, these postcards, are also in that kit. They're larger, but I made these small. Oh, they're this size. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. This is one of her full pages. So I believe that the Rose Blush actually has two parts. So make sure you get the part that has this paper in it. I mean, if you get the other part by accident, you still have a wonderful pieces of choices, but this is what you need. Okay, that's really all you need. Those two things are what's essential. So I am now going to show you what I did. I cut out the envelope after I drew extended lines. I wanted to have a flat back because I wanted the fan to have something to lean on really well if I put anything really big in there. And so that's what I did. I made a flat back. You wouldn't have to, but if you want to, this is how I made this part. You could freehand it, but I didn't want to. I could see myself freehanding and cutting it until I had to start all over again. So I just put I considered hump, hump, and hump, and it was like I went from hump to hump and hump to hump with the edge of the plate. I just drew, and I drew, and then I went between these two pieces to draw up here. All right, simple, simple. Then I extended out the fins. This is pretty much the end of the page here. So if you extend this to the end of the page and then you extend this the same distance as that, you'll be fine. You can always cut them down. You can always make them shorter. But this is going to be your gusset. Alright, so it doesn't come all the way to the end, because if it did, then this would curl. It wouldn't stand up like this, it would curl. Okay, and then these in general kind of come in and show part of this, just envelopes in general. So I extend them out if I don't want that to show. And I actually extended them out further, and then after I folded the envelope, I turned it over and I saw where it was sticking out, and I drew a line on both sides, and then that was how I made them be the right width. So I'm a big believer in cutting big, and then you can always make it smaller as you go. And then I did not want to have the back quite as dipped as this, although it's lovely. I knew I was going to be putting the design over it anyway, so I just decided to make less of a dip. So for me, it worked out a little bit better. Still it's a dip though. And then like this. So this is how it would look if it was closed, but of course we're never closing it. So that's what you want to do. Alright? If you want to take a snapshot of this, that's your template. Just extend. Alright. And then let me show you. So here's an extended one. I double printed. This is from another one of their kits. Victoriana, I think this is the kit, and then I double printed on top with their Autumn Promises kit, and this is also the Autumn Promises. It's very grungy. It didn't turn out in a way that I could really get behind it though. But it becomes the template, and that's my next point. After you figure this out on here, you can see there's white spaces, and you cannot use it if it has white spaces. So after you figure it out, then you need to put it on the paper of your choice and draw around it with the white spaces, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get it right. So just line up the lines, these fold lines, line them up, line them up. This is actually a little bit smaller. Well, sometimes I print on 8x10 paper, and sometimes I print on 8.5 by 11, and sometimes I print fit to screen, and other times I don't. So that's probably, where the difference is, because it's minute. But, whatever works for you, just do that, and then draw around it, and then double side print your final piece. And in this case, I use this beautiful lace from one of her other kits. I think it's another rose blush. I think there's a 1 and a 2. And then this is also from her kit called Lace Coffee Dyed Paper. So beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, so once you get your envelope figured out, then you're going to start to fold on the fold lines, and except for this top one, and you're going to fold these on the fold lines, and you're going to fold this on the fold line, and then you're going to fold these on the fold line, and this is where the glue is going to go, right here. Here and here is the glue. And it's going to fold up like that. But before we glue it, we're going to put in this little tabby guy, and this is what's going to hold the fan. Now, depending on where you want the fan to be, that's where you're going to put it. So find your middle spot, which is very easy to find on this particular stationery. Look at that. It's the middle. So it's a line. So that's the middle. And then I came up 1 inch from the bottom, and then you got to figure out where you want it to be. So I like having it come up a bit because I've double-sided this one. So what's coming up are these beautiful fan points. So pretty. I'll show you that in a minute. So just figure out how much you want to show, remembering that you're going to have stuff in there, so you want to keep it, you know, steady. And then you're going to glue that in. I glued on the bottom and the sides. I glued down to about there and there because I don't want it to be shifting around too much. So, but you can't, you know, you can't over glue either. So just figure that out, glue that in. And now on to the fan part. So the fan, as you can see, is with these pieces that would glue it on the paper and allow it to be a pocket. So cut both of your fan sides out with these on there. And then you're going to have to fussy cut the top. And my suggestion to you is that you put the two pieces together. Make sure you get, you know, like this is the white side, so make sure on this side you've got the white side, because they're not even, they're not equal, and they're not even. So here, let me just do this. All right, and this fan's a little bit smaller. So I mean, that'll be the same size on your paper. I just obviously printed them out at different. You know what? Look how pretty that is. Wouldn't that be pretty to have a third pocket? 1, 2, and then 3. Gorgeous. I'll have to try that. Ooh, love it. All right, I distressed the edges. You can see the difference. And you get to pick if you want to cut right on these lines. Do you see these lines that are part of the design? Or if you want to kind of keep this outer halo. Either way works. I suggest you don't cut it, you know, you cut kind of a large halo when you put the two together to work it out, because they're not exact. So, you know, working it out is, you have to have room for air. Oh, these look pretty good, so I guess you can do it if you want to. All right, so that's how you get that. So now you're going to have your fan and your piece, and it's going to go like this. All right, and then you're going to glue here and here, here and here. And when you do, it's not going to come to the edge. So I recommend that you don't play with it, that you just basically, see, if you start playing with it, you start to get this rounded bottom. And that's what I've done previously. And then it doesn't meet up at the top. That's the only problem with that. So if you want it to be rounded, if you want it to be larger, which I've done, then you have to have it taller here, so that ultimately it comes up to be at the right size. But I think it's working just fine having the knife edge, as you might say. And so it's easier. So that's what I would do. Now if you wanted to, if this is too deep of a gusset for you, then you can fold this back like that. And like this. Okay, and then you put this here. And now it's going to come to the edge. And that looks like that. Maybe a little bit more attractive. And also you're going to have this loose corner. So if you wanted to, when you originally cut it out, you could make this go like that. Let's see, did I do that on here? No. But you could have a white go to here. You know what I'm saying, right? This is not rocket science. Go over like that, all right? Because you can always cut it down later. If it's too tall, you can cut it down. That's what I've had to do in the past. So everything can be cuttable once you glue. You know how wonky envelopes can be. They don't always fold perfectly. You don't always cut perfectly. So it's better to have things a little bit bigger, a little bit more extra, and then you can cut it down. So that's it. So that's it. So you've got your fan in here. You've got your gussets there. And I would pick a different paper for the inside to go with this coloring. And then we're going to put on the Cameo. And I also have another idea I thought I would try out with you guys. So the Cameo, you're going to fold it right here and right here. So just fold one side at a time. I put my Cameo right up to the edge here, right to there, and I folded the top back. So in other words, fold the top back right where you've got these pre-made shoulders. This is the neck and these are the shoulders. So just turn that under and then plop it on your paper. Oh, I hope these bows would show, but they won't. Too bad. Okay, and then the other one will then bend where it makes sense. Don't make it too tight. Let there be a little bit of a looseness there, just so there's some room with the gusset. And there you go. And there's no reason not to leave that open for some pretty piece. Okay. Now let me show you the other idea I have. This and this. Wouldn't these be beautiful? These circles, or a circle probably, and then this one, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to have to quickly cut these so we can see if they would work. I mean to tell ya. So you guys, are you still sweltering? I heard from some of you that you were supposed to have a cool down. These are normally 8.5 by 11 or 8 by 10 papers or A4. I just did them at the 2 and 5 or 2 on a 5 by 7 layout. That's how they got to be that size. But they're full sheets really. I heard from some of you that, which I loved hearing from people in other countries. It was so great to understand what you're going through. And I love the communication so much and appreciate it. So I found out that you guys were expecting perhaps a cool down on Sunday, yesterday. And that would be something, some reprieve, right? It wouldn't be cool, but it would be some reprieve. But then you are going to have some kind of a heat up come Monday. So I'm thinking of ya. I really am. It's probably in the upper 90s, if not over 100 here. But again, I keep all my shades down. I have the AC. I close all the ducts, air ducts in the rooms that don't need it. And I'm upstairs, so the heat rises. So it gets so cold downstairs, it's freezing. And I'm up here boiling. So since we closed the ducts and the air is coming mostly up here, it's made a world of difference, and we're able to keep the temperature set considerably higher, and it stays much cooler and more comfortable both downstairs and upstairs. So if you want to keep your heating or air conditioning bills down, that's something to consider. You can always open and close those ducts if you go and spend time in that room at another part of the day. But here where I live, we're able to turn off the AC in the middle of the evening, I would say, and then it's really chilly at night, so I don't really turn the AC on until afternoon. Depending on how hot it gets, it might be early afternoon, it might be middle afternoon. So today it was early, but still not a heat wave technically. It's still normal for us. So anyway, hydrate, stay cool. All right, so now we can see that this would be wide this way, which could be beautiful, I am going to look and see where I could fold this for some sense of symmetry. So I'm noticing that this, let me do this another way. Let's see. I'm going to put this at the bottom. I'm looking at the bottom of the envelope and this line. So let me go like this, just to know where that is, and then I'm going to turn it over and hold it. Okay. I'm going to tear off this other one, but I'm going to try it too. Okay, so this would be on the bottom, and then the top would be because the top has the dip, you don't, you can make it a little bit higher, and I also make it a little bit lower on the bottom. I think what I would do is I would cut this off right at these 3 spaces. Hump, hump, hump. But this is not quite. Okay. Alright, and then the same thing on this side. Okay. Alright. And then I might even fussy cut. Knowing me, I'd probably emphasize this totally and put this here. There we go. I wish this were a different paper because this just doesn't look good. Let's just put this in for the sake of beauty. Because beauty. It's not that I don't like that pink paper, it's that I don't like the white showing around it. Okay, so that's one possibility, which is so pretty. And in the middle of this could still go another cameo. Hold on, let me grab another cameo here. Okay, here we go. All right, so if I put this here, oh my gosh, fabuloso. Fabuloso. Love it. Love it. Once it would be cut, oh my gosh. Or if for some reason this became some sort of a side, like if you were to glue this in your journal so that it was a side thing, then you could put it that way. I love that. Love, love. Okay. So that's number 1. And then you just glue it in. And this I would probably cut shorter because I love those bows. So I would probably cut it off about here. Maybe at this point to keep the design. And that would be it. Alright, that's one. And then this, the other one that I think has potential. The question was, could I get it in the middle? Let's see this side. Let's see if this side's better. I have to have something that turns over. But you know what? This is a time when this edge might be just the thing. Let's see. Let's see. So I'm turning it up just to show me where that line is. Okay. Because what I'm noticing is that I want that circle or the oval to be in the middle of the envelope. And if I go up much higher, I won't be in the middle of the width, of the depth. So, and then I don't really want this top of this one to show. So what would I do? It's going to show no matter what I do. I don't really like having another one down there. So I might be inclined to just, let's try it. If I just cut this off right above this circle. Don't you love this design where it is on there? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to cut this off right. Oh, it's so sweet. So sweet. I don't want to really ruin that design now. Okay, I'm going to cut it off right there. Oh, it's so French. I love it. All right, and I am going to see if I want to cut the width. I don't know if that looks very good, having it cut off, especially since there's nothing there. Okay, so if I were to put it more in the middle, well, I don't know. I think I wouldn't use this one. That's what I think. I think I would use the other one, but I don't think I would use this one because I don't want that to happen. Maybe if this could be browned with some, let's just see, because it's kind of a try-out kind of thing. Let's see if we can brown it up so that I can actually use this. This probably isn't the best color. It's Gathered Twigs, which is a great color normally, and it's the oxide version. Just happen to have it handy, so. It's funny, I'm trying to get right here in this space and it doesn't really want to go. Alright, if I did the edges, maybe it would be, this is a project gone awry, I do think. But that was the point, right, to try it out. So, if we go like that, and this was at the bottom. Oh, I know, we could put a word here. Ah, that's the answer. Put some kind of a saying or a ribbon that's gonna do it. If I put this ribbon across here, no one would know the difference. That would do it. All right, that's the answer. A word or a ribbon. And then this cameo would, oh no, it kind of, I know this is too big, but I think it's, I mean, it's not cut, so it looks too big, but I think it's too big. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, honestly, I just think that's so incredibly precious. I can barely stand it. Oh, I love it so much. Oh my gosh. I just love how this looks. I love this lace and this cameo. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here's what I would do. I would hunt for words, and I would put the ribbon and then the words on top of it. That's what I would do. If I don't find any good words, then I wouldn't. And then I would age this paper. Now that I've aged the sides of the cameo paper, I just think it looks way too white. Gorgeous, gorgeous paper though. Another idea is that you come up with something really skinny to put in the middle so that these bows show. Again, it could be another wider ribbon. It would be beautiful. Oh, I love this paper so much. So much. She's got this in blue, pink, platinum, and has it in tags. So the kit is the cottage kit, I think. Cottage kit. And she's just coming out with so many kits lately, it's hard to keep them straight. And I just can't wait to use the other color ones because they're all gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, so that's the outer edge. And then, of course, whatever's on this side, I would also white. So there you go. I do hope that fulfills your knowledge base on what to do. You could always cut these off and just have it like that. It'd be up to you. Again, you want to place it in between these designs and hope that it's still in the middle. And then you can glue it down entirely. Since we chopped off the bottom, you'd have to put a swath of glue here, but you could probably still have something narrow. It's too wide, but something narrow, a narrow journal card could go in there, or you could just glue it down. You know, there's plenty of room in the top for your other ephemera. If the fan goes all the way down, then it would look more like that. Whatever paper you choose would show. But it is a delightful way to use these beautiful printables, and the piece from chapter 1 is a huge chunk of it all. So I hope that you enjoyed that, you guys, and that it was easy to follow for you as well. So I welcome feedback, and I love being with you, and thank you so very much for subscribing, for liking the page if you liked it, and I look forward to seeing you again. I have so many ideas. I could probably do this more frequently, but this is what I can fit in right now, so this is good for me, and I hope it's workable for you, and then when you see the notification, you feel some enthusiasm about spending some time with me. I so appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and please stay cool, please hydrate. Take care. Bye-bye.